How's it going, everyone? And welcome to the Juices Loose podcast, number 195. Holy crap, we're 5 away from 200. Who would have thought that shit was going to happen? But I tell you what, today is going to be quite the one, because we got to talk about the beginning of E3. And, of course, we got the two greatest companies in the world, Ubisoft and Microsoft, to talk about. So, of course, we're all excited to talk about them. However, you know, I think we gotta talk something about Nintendo. so before that, how about we talk about that Capcom bringing Resident Evil 7 with the technology of the cloud? And I don't know who wants to talk about that. Who wants to start that up? I don't know.
You don't want to start that shit with me.
I'll start it because I'm gonna go over my
look at him.
My reactions, how it started okay, and then how it kind of plummeted. So at first I was like, well, at least want to see what, because you guys linked it like the day before, so I watched it at lunch today, and I was like, I at least want to see what this game looks like on Switch. I didn't realize it was cloud streaming at this point, so I'm like, damn, they're using PS4 footage for sure. That's definitely running on the Switch. And then I see the cloud, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking, why the fuck would they do this now? Well, at least it looks like PS4 graphics, so I'm just I tweeted that, and like, well, then you got to worry about fucking reducing the file size. So I'm okay. I see where they're going with this. I'm like, it better be cheap though. It better be fucking cheap. And then I watched Switch Force's video, I think, and they talked about it's a rental, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's a 6-month rental is your only option, and it's basically $18, 2,000 yen. I was like, yeah, I really don't care, because it's a rental service. Like, it's a streaming, and I don't know. I just, at that point, as soon as I realized they weren't trying to sell you a fake game, like, even though $18 or $20, that's pretty much the price of the game right now on PS4. I was more like, it bothered me more when I thought that they were going to charge you 20, and then it's like, that's you owning the game. It doesn't bother me that it's a rental. It does, but the price seems way too high for a rental for me. So I was just like, at first I was kind of trying to figure out why they do it. And then I was like, then once I realized it's a rental, I said it in Clocked video. I was like, this kind of feels like they're crowdfunding a possible port of this game, but they're just disguising it as this like rental service. So I don't know. I'm not upset because it's a game I have, and I don't think it's a great game anyway, but the fact that it's basically a streaming rental service for this game. Now, if this was like a bunch of games for $20, I would probably be like, yeah, that's pretty cool for Japan. They got their internet infrastructure is pretty good. Maybe that'd be a cool way for them to get some games, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like as big of a deal to me as some people probably in this group will think. And again, I just want to reiterate that I'm not worried about this coming to the US, because we don't have the infrastructure. I mean, I only have freaking like 6 megabytes upload speed still to this day. You know, I got supposedly at 75 download, but I just don't see it being a viable option with input lag, with buffering and stuff. I think we're 10 years plus away from this being in the US as even an option. So I'm not too worried about it, but I think it's kind of pointless at the same time. So I don't know.
Don't people stream on PS Now?
PS Now, they stream PS3 games.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And I've seen the input lags, like, it's about a second. So it's for some games it's fine, but for like, they don't try to do it for like fast-paced Twitch shooters or anything. So I think it has a limited appeal. And Resident Evil 7, I think out of all the games, you're not really, it's a 60 frames per second game on PS4, but it plays like a 10 frames per second game. Like, it limits your character's movement speed and stuff. So maybe the input lag wouldn't be as noticeable in that game, but overall it's just kind of I think it's a stupid idea. And if they're going to bring Resident Evil 7 to the Switch, they should have just spent the money and ported it, that way. But I kind of feel like this is them being sneaky, trying to raise some money and see if this game would be, any kind of interest in it on Switch. So That's kind of my take.
All right, I'm gonna go in. My process, basically, I was watching somebody's video, and they were very enthusiastic and very optimistic. They seem to be optimistic about Capcom a lot, and Capcom has done nothing but fail us as Nintendo fans. I was optimistic in the beginning. I actually said, I don't know if you guys remember, well, that was my prediction. It was that Resident Evil 7 was coming.
I think at last year's E3 predictions.
Right. So I thought that was going to be a thing. And I'm right. So give me my credit, bitches. Yeah. No. Yeah, but I didn't think it would be coming in this capacity. Because, Capcom convinced Nintendo to put 4 gigs of RAM.
Well, it needs that RAM for streaming.
Apparently, it needs that RAM for streaming. They didn't tell us the whole story, apparently. But on one hand, it's a cool thing because it's like, all right, the biggest obstacle with the Switch can be thwarted by this, and that is the cart size, right? That's the biggest obstacle I see, and that's what developers have been saying is that, we can port games to Switch, no problem. It's just the cart size, the file size, you don't have no space on the carts, and nobody's going to pay for, $120 games on the Switch. So on the one hand, it's like, okay, that's cool, especially for people who don't care, people who download. There's a lot of people who download every game on Switch. They don't have any physical copies. So for people like that, that I can see them being okay with it, and that's cool. But for me, like, it's not even just a digital game. It's a rental. Like, it's not even like you don't even own the digital version of it. So it's just like, obviously $20 is cheap.
It's an expensive rental, actually, though, when you think about it.
$20 for 180 days. That's pretty good, right? For one game. I mean,
if the game was still 60, I would say that.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. I mean, it's baby steps. So I'm not going to get into too much about that. But this is Capcom shorthanding Nintendo fans again and slighting them. And again, it's like, it's not even like, this is a pretty old game that's very cheap now. And I had a point there and I just lost it completely.
Oh, no.
And it wasn't that, but like, again, they're finding a way to just slight Nintendo fans. Like, it's only going to be in Japan. I'm pretty sure about that because we can't even get fucking Phantasy Star. Like, and don't tell me Phantasy Star can't run on Switch.
Someone said Phantasy Star runs the same way off the cloud, but I don't.
Yeah, it's a cloud game. Yeah, it's a cloud game. That's what I'm saying. We couldn't even get. I'm just saying we can't even get that localized on the cloud.
That's fucking Sega.
It's Sega. So it's just like, what the hell is going on?
And it's free to
being
play.
Experimented on. So it's just like where it could be cool, where if a lot of companies start doing this, like, oh, that's our one hurdle is the cart size for Switch. We can get more games on there. I don't think I would invest in any of that stuff because I like owning my shit. Like,
in this way, like, if you download a game, whether your SD card or whatever, your hard drive fails in the future, but you've downloaded it. This is all they have to do is their servers, they go bankrupt or something, and their servers, they can't pay for them anymore. Those are gone. That's why I think it's better as a rental, because if you tried to, like, here, give me 60 or 40, whatever, and you can play games on Switch at full 1080p 60, but those servers go off someday, the game's completely gone. While where the downloads, at least if your media holds up, you'll still have it,
Right.
But eventually you won't be able to redownload it. But
there's games where I think this would be a lot better, but the problem is the technology isn't good for them. And I'm talking about online only games, like, because a lot of those games are throwaway anyway. Like,
then you're streaming plus doing.
But then
online.
you're streaming plus you're online, so it wouldn't work. So the one thing that it would be kind of cool for, there's no way it would work, especially not in this country. So it's just like, again, slap us in the face.
I want to go through my mental processing because so I saw it last night and I just saw the cloud gaming, but just from that notion, I was kind of like, okay, it comes out this week. It's a cloud version of the game. What what the fuck? Like it's one of those, okay, it's one of your more successful overall praise Resident Evil games. When you make a bigger fanfare out of this, then it's a cloud version and it comes out in like a few days and it's like, Capcom, what is this shit? And then and I didn't even know about the rental thing until Juice said it. Dead ass. I didn't even know it was a rental. I thought we would still get to own the game, but it's a fucking rental on top of that.
Yeah.
Like what?
I
don't understand what is the point. Like, and I don't know if it's horror games in general, but I find it funny that Capcom found a way to chop off the legs of a horror game for a fan base more than Nintendo has done frame in the last few years, where we haven't gotten barely any of those fucking games except for 5, and even then we got that one digitally, unless you lived in Europe, mind you. And so I'm like, why would you do? And it's not. And if this was like a low budget title, if this was like an indie, one of their smaller titles, it would be okay, fine. It's still fucking weird, but okay. But you're doing this with a game that came out. What was that? It came out early 2017, didn't it?
Yeah.
January.
It's like
it came out.
It's a year and a half old at this point.
It's a year and a half old, but it's still like one of the more successful recent games. Right. It's been better received than the other shit like fucking Street Fighter and whatnot.
For sure.
Why in the fuck
would you Frankenstein that game?
Yeah, why would you do? Why do it to that game? Okay, Ultra Street Fighter 2, whatever. It's a stupid fucking choice with that one too. But whatever, it's an old game. Why do this with a new game? And I don't get it.
And maybe we should.
It aggravates me more. I don't understand what the point is.
Should clarify too that I think some people were like, "Well, we might get the physical version out." This is not a port running on the Switch. This is literally it's running off the PC servers.
Yeah,
all the game computing. So all you're getting is the streamed video signal, which I'm guessing will be 1080p 60 frames per second, and then your controller.
Like what's that company that was whoring themselves trying to get attention using Switch, and we're gonna game stream from your PC?
I know Rainway.
Yeah, it's basically like what Rainway was doing. You know, like
for sure.
Yeah, but at least Rainway, that was like the whole point of their app. Capcom is
right. I'm just saying.
Capcom is like it's just one of our more successful games in the last few years. What are we gonna see next? Monster Hunter World? You get Monster Hunter World, guys,
but only streaming
it for 3 months. What?
Yeah. What about
Could you imagine streaming it from their server and then streaming it on your YouTube channel?
I'm losing my fucking mind, yo.
Yeah, that's a good point. Shit. Basically the Rainway app for one game.
Yeah, I'm not shitting on Rainway. I'm just saying I'm shitting on the fact that they, used the Switch to.
It's just fucking insanity, is what it is. But
yeah, fuck Rainway with that bullshit. That's a whole other topic.
What I was gonna say is, what about Retro? You got any thoughts on that shit?
My thoughts are a bit more simple, I guess. When I saw the Resident Evil 7, I was like, "Hey, damn! They're actually gonna release it still on the Switch." Like, I'm first of all surprised that it's actually still gonna be playable on the Switch. And then when I saw the cloud thing, like, okay, I'm not super tech savvy, but you've had for fucking years, like all these Xbox. Yeah, the cloud's gonna save the Xbox, and I'm here like, hey, the Switch got the cloud. It's pretty cool,
Yeah,
like, the Switch has like this cloud thing, and I like I'm like T. I want my shit physical, but I still like digital games a lot, and I like the idea of streaming your games. But I've already had so many issues where I said, like, you're buying a game physical and you're not even getting a physical game. You're getting it half physical, half digital. So you're not getting a physical game. I don't like, even though it doesn't affect me at all, but I just don't like the principle of renting games digitally. I just don't like that. Especially like, at first I was like, yeah, $20 seems expensive, but technically $20 to rent a game is pretty cheap, and it's probably gonna work. But I don't like the idea myself. But I think the Resident Evil thing is pretty cool, and I definitely think the cloud streaming thing is pretty cool, though.
Yeah, the concept of the cloud streaming, all that stuff is cool. It's just this whole implementation is whack.
Yeah.
If I pay $20, like, why can't I? If I want to do that, why can't I just play Okami, Street Fighter, all those for that 20?
Right.
That could be something somewhat intriguing as a proposition.
Yeah.
I guess it's different in this day and age because now that's why I probably feel it's expensive. Yeah, it's not expensive if you can't take into account like 1980 when you're renting a game, but it is expensive when for $20 I can get like 5 high quality indie games to keep. So, I think that's why the renting idea is just a bit weird.
And what about Clock? Do you got any thoughts? Damn, your sleeping thoughts of that.
I just
I don't really give a shit.
yeah,
I'm so fucking confused.
I think I'm like T now. I had my rant earlier, and I'm just like, I don't give a shit anymore. They've kind of like just completed what they started, where they gave us Street Fighter 2 on the cartridge. It was all there, and then like, all right, what should we do next? I know, let's do Mega Man, but only give them half the game. Yeah, and now they go to Resident Evil 7. Let's just give them no game, and and still charge them. And it was like, hey, do you know what? Yeah, I don't mind streaming this game. It's okay. I don't have to own it. I don't want to own anything on my console. I just want to play games, but still pay for them. And I'm just, I said in my video that a lot of people call gamers of my generation dinosaurs now. Because we seem to struggle to accept these new business models that are coming in, and it's not that we can't accept the business models. It's how like we always talk about is how they do these business models, whether it's microtransactions, DLC, streaming, and whatever else they want to throw at us. And I talked about in my video mostly about what you said he's not scared about, which I'm not scared about it, but I can see it slowly happening, just like everything else has happened, and that's companies like Capcom, these big AAA companies like Capcom, who find an avenue, see a bunch of people who seem willing to just accept it, and that bunch of people then slowly grows, and it only starts off with one game. And it slowly grows, and that's what's happened with the industry that we have today. And it happened with the microtransactions. People saying, as long as it doesn't affect the main game, then it doesn't bother me. But look where we are now, and it's it's the same with DLC. As long as there's extra stuff and I still get the main game, it's all good. But look where we are now, and the shit we've had to deal with. So that's what worries me more than anything else. It's just where do we go from here now? And
I take issue with one thing you said. You said Capcom AAA. Capcom ain't been AAA since like 2000.
Let me wash my mouth out.
2005.
My God.
Obviously, I think I already know the answer, but if this streaming option was along with the actual game, you could just buy the game full price, or you could rent it. I'm thinking there wouldn't be an issue if you just had both options.
Be an issue at all,
I think the confusion is still there because it's like, why even do it?
I think it's kind of cool though that you like. Okay, so I think it's cool that if there were multiple options, where it'd be like, oh, you could just stream it and stuff like that. And I think it's a neat idea. Then you could have it basically run as good as something like on a PS4 on a Switch, which is pretty damn cool. But it's like at the same time, it's like they don't have that option. If they did, it'd be fucking awesome. But now it's like, oh, now we gotta hope that they release a physical version instead of them saying, yeah, there's a physical plus here's this one for the cloud that you want. They don't have the options.
I'll tell you right now, I would gladly rent Wolfenstein 2 on this, because that's to me just feels like a one playthrough type of game from how the first game's playing out. But I'm not. I wouldn't want it as an alternative. I'm just saying if both were there, I honestly think I would just opt for $20 is a little. I kind of wish if it was like 15, or maybe there's a $10 for you get 2 months or something. Some kind of. I would consider that for some single player only games that I just know I don't need to own. But At least if you have both the option, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah,
So I mean, this is the difference, though, right? I mean, it's giving the consumer the option, right? I mean, because this is Resident Evil 7, it's this particular game because it's Resident Evil 7. It's a single player game. There's no online or anything like that. It's a single player. You'd have to look at it in exactly the same way as if Nintendo brought out the next Zelda, right? And said, right, it's streaming only, yeah. And it was still single player. It was still all of this stuff, but they said it was streaming only because at the end of the day, not even we can afford our 8 GB card. So fucking we're just gonna let it stream it, and this is all you're having. So it'd be, in my mind, it'd be exactly the same situation as that. And me as a consumer, based off what I've consumed in the past, what I've paid for in the past, what I've done in the past, and what Resident Evil 7 has released as in the past. That's why I'm struggling to accept it. It's why I don't accept it. So whereas some people would be more than willing to stream it and get the full version looking as best as it can be, and I'm actually in the other camp, and I'd be willing to take the hit, just like we have been taking the hits, so I can at least buy that game and it belongs to me and I own it, and I don't have to keep on giving Capcom pound after pound after pound. And one thing I mentioned in the video as well is on Capcom's website, it says that the saves for this game are on the cloud as well. And in the small text, it says that they are subject to deletion if your activity isn't as active, isn't deemed as active as they would like it to be.
Gotta read that fine print, bro.
So it says on the website that they can delete your saves as well. So it's not just renting. They are literally taking everything away from you as a consumer.
So
literally every single thing away from you as a consumer, and that's what bugs me, because I know a large majority of people will be happy to accept this type of model. Yeah, just first of all for the one game, and then maybe for another game, and then maybe for another game. But that's how it comes in until it becomes a viable model to have on the side constantly. And what games do you select then? What games get decided to be streamed only or to be retail only, or whatever? It's a slippery slope. That's what I'm worried about.
People were really pissed off about DRM when Microsoft's trying to do it.
Oh, exactly. With you, I mean, that's why the Xbox tanked, because they were taking everything away from you as a consumer. No, you can't trade your game in. No, you can't resell it. No, you can't to do whatever. It's you have to download the game. You have to install it. You have to connect to our servers. You have to have the camera plugged in. You have to do exactly everything you want to do, as we want you to do, because we're telling you to. And at that time, if you remember, people were defending it, saying it's fine. This is the future, man. This is what we want to do. And it's just
call me a dinosaur. I'm paying my fucking mortgage for a house that I'm eventually own, while you paying somebody else's fucking mortgage. I'm not with that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with the Zelda comparison, because I have Resident Evil 7, and I know some people love the franchise, and there's at least one person who called this game a masterpiece on Twitter, Resident Evil 7. It's I don't know, a second playthrough might give you something, but it's a 10-hour game. It's a one, maybe a couple years later you maybe would play it again. Like, it's not a fun game to play, in my opinion. So
is it taxing? Like,
yeah, but your opinion is trash.
I'm saying, yeah.
The frame rate.
It's a 60 frames per second game, but it limits your character's speed, so it feels like
it plays like a slug. I played the demo. That was enough. Yeah. That was enough for me.
But to me, it's not like a timeless game. So I guess I would feel differently if it was a game that was maybe near and dear to my heart. I just want to throw that out there. So the fact that Resident Evil 7 to me is barely worth a rental only, I think that's probably why it's not affecting me as much. I kind of wish I only had rented it and I didn't have this, because I paid $60 because I got caught up in the hype, and the Switch was a couple months away. I was like, I want to play something. So I get caught up in the hype. I buy the game. Think about trading it in a few months later, and it was already like, it was under $40, and the trade-in value was like $10 or $12. And I'm like, well, I might as well just keep it for that. And now that version of the game is $20, brand new. The gold edition's back up to 40. So I don't know. I just wanted to throw it out for anyone didn't know, like that. To me, the game's not really worth it's not a good game to own anyway, in my opinion. So yeah, if it was
Isn't
something
a game you
major,
need on Switch at this point? No.
and it, you know,
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
I don't think it would
No, it
hurt.
wouldn't hurt.
I think that's the whole point. It's not that
But
it's
for the
it's
obstacles,
necessary.
you
It's,
can
just,
do
it's not. It's just it wouldn't
I
hurt
think-
to have it.
I think it
The
could
hurdles
easily
you
run
can
on the
do with
Switch.
it.
Because there's no reason. The only reason it was 60 frames was for the VR. They had to, otherwise it makes people nauseous. That's the only reason that game was 60 frames per second.
Resident Evil 7 can run on a Switch.
Yeah.
Of course it could. It's not a pretty game.
Doubt in my bloody mind.
It's just a weird choice for the way they wanted to handle
Yeah,
it.
it's a weird.
Capcom doesn't want to port that kind of shit. They obviously don't have the means. There's too many people out there who think highly of Capcom. They got these. They have all these means to port these things at some point. They don't. If they do, they certainly won't. So it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
what
believe it's going to happen.
Man, they've changed.
they put all their money towards the next Monster Hunter, and that seems to be about it.
Yeah.
But
But all right. I mean, that's it. We were done with talking about
Capcom on that.
these dead Capcom guys.
Done.
So I mean, now I guess we could talk about E3. It's right around the corner. Hell's yeah, I'm hyped.
and you're going, right?
And I'm going, so I can't wait. I'm gonna be hard for that shit. I'm gonna so first I wanted to talk about Ubisoft, then we could talk about Microsoft. So let's talk about some Ubisoft. So
Fuck
last
Ubisoft.
time there was a pretty big. Wait, what did you?
It caught me
Fuck
off guard.
Ubisoft. Here's my opinion. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ.
So I mean I think we can all agree last year with the whole Miyamoto thing, that was pretty fucking cool. Like that was easily the best. And I don't think there's gonna be anything like that this year. Like I really doubt it. But I mean, like, do you think we'll maybe get some kind of bigger appearance from like a Nintendo at this Ubisoft again, or is that it? Was that just a one and done? What do you guys think?
We're gonna get what's that skateboard or snowboarding game?
We're not talking about that, all right?
That was about a year
I was
ago.
legit waiting for that shit.
Oh fuck!
So
Well, I
It's
mean,
called Steep, if you're wondering.
Steep, yes.
do you think there'll be any newly announced games that
like a
come?
Mario+Rabbids type of level of collaboration. Talking.
Maybe, but at the same time, do you think like there'll be any do you think there'll be any new games that are announced that actually even be coming to Switch, or do you think it's like nah, fuck you guys? Like,
I think we'll definitely get something new. I think from Ubisoft we'll get the Rabbids DLC, maybe finally like a release date on that. I'm pretty sure we'll get more details on that. But I'm pretty sure that with the way the Switch is going, even if they have something unreleased for other systems, if it's a multiplat, at this point I would expect it to see like date and date kind of stuff, announcement at the very least. I think we'll get something new. I mean, out of everybody, I have the smallest opinion of Ubisoft. The way people now feel about EA, that's how I always felt my entire life about Ubisoft. I hated these guys. When you see these tour studios and everything with the shit they were doing, I hate it. And the last E3, like they rose really high because of all these, not just because they showed the Rabbids stuff, but because they were thinking outside of the box and they were showing more and the shows were kind of interesting. So I'm hoping that, yeah, they will build off of that. So I'm expecting stuff this year from them for once.
Okay. What about Terrell? He doesn't. I don't know how you feel about Ubisoft, to be honest.
There's not a lot. There's not a lot I care about. The only like main IP from Ubisoft I give a damn about is Rayman, and we are overdue for another
we are.
Rayman.
I
I don't think we're gonna get it because Ubisoft wants to fucking play with people's emotions with that game. They ported it to everything, and no one has said nothing about a sequel. And god damn it, do I want a sequel?
Right? Bullshit.
It is bullshit.
So I'd still say that Rayman Legends damaged, I know it's going back now, but damaged the Wii U more than any other game. That delay.
Well, I mean, that delayed it. I'm just at this point, I'm just talking more about the game itself. Because the other issue was that Rayman Legends, I don't think sold nowhere near as much as they wanted to. Hence why they keep porting it to everything.
Now's the time. Yeah. Now's the time for an exclusive Rayman game on a Nintendo console.
Oh, I'd be totally down for it because I mean the last two games were fucking great. I think Origins is probably the tightest platforming wise, but Legends was still good in its own right. It's just more of, does Ubisoft find any financial gain in porting that game out? Hell, I think doesn't the Switch version of Rayman Legends still have bugs in it that need to be fixed?
Really?
Not that I heard of.
I heard it had issues when it launched, but that's neither here or there. As far as
somebody say they fixed the loading times, I thought we said in one.
I wasn't sure. It's been a while now.
Did somebody say that in the podcast? A couple, I don't know.
I don't remember. But as far as Ubisoft, the rest of it, as far as the games, we know Skull and Bones. I don't think that's a 2018 game. I think that's 2019. Beyond Good and Evil 2. Everything else is out, right?
Starlink.
Starlink was this year.
Oh yeah, the Starlink game.
And then we probably got. We probably got
gonna flop on everything.
We probably got like Splinter Cell at some point. I'm guessing.
Probably.
I feel like there's always a Tom Clancy a year.
It feels like it. I mean, so it's not like they don't.
Probably time for another Splinter Cell. I think it's been long.
I can say this: they probably aren't gonna win E3 like they did last year.
It's time for the new Prince of Persia. That's what it's talking
about. Okay, we'll see.
That would, if they did it right.
We'll see, buddy.
That would, because I think honestly, their press conference was just like right there, maybe even slightly better than Nintendo's Spotlight. Because the Nintendo Spotlight last year, we knew almost every game, and then we got a couple surprise announcements with no footage. You know, there's, I think, Yoshi and Kirby.
Most people said Ubisoft won last year.
I think most people did say that.
Yeah, that's unanimous. There was barely any. Go ahead.
I was saying just as far as like the Spotlight versus the press conferences, you know, I think I would say Ubisoft's was right there for me. So
most people said they won though. So I mean, it wasn't like they didn't get their props from last year.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to be nearly as good this year. That's my issue.
I think they could be good if, for example, that Assassin's Creed that came out. For example, I could see them, for example, reveal that for the Switch. And we already know that they probably for the most time they will be spending it on Beyond Good and Evil, because during the last stream they said they saved a lot for E3, and I'm thinking that's gonna like take up a lot of the Ubisoft time, and that I don't see coming to Switch still. I don't see
really, because I don't think Beyond Good and Evil, the footage we saw in that live stream before, was it a few weeks ago? That game don't even look like it's an alpha level.
That game is way off.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they showed that at E3.
That's almost
they actually literally said that they didn't show much in that stream because they kept a lot for E3. They factually said that.
But I'm sure that would be ready.
We'll see. We'll see what they show. So
I don't think it even looks presentable to like a high degree right now.
I don't know. I don't even know why they would show the alpha footage if they got stuff ready for E3 in like 2 months' time.
Yeah, there's no why even
show how.
I don't fucking believe that.
I fucking hate the art style. I hate it.
It's horrendous. It's not even Beyond Good and Evil 2. It's beyond what the fudgicles, man. You do
like so dog shit.
Well, wait. Do you guys think we might get a remake of the first one then?
No.
I don't want that.
I don't think that's gonna happen. No way.
Why?
What bugs me about this new one though is they're trying, the scope of it is too big. They're trying to do too much. And you guys, I don't know if people remember this far back. You remember Fable, the first Fable game on the original Xbox? You remember the promise of that game?
You can go scope of it.
Oh yeah.
And then what it turned out to be was very linear and just like you know, if you did bad things, it it affected later in the game. But it was a fraction.
He's known for bullshitting.
Yeah, and I feel like Beyond Good and Evil 2, like they're so focused on creating this huge universe where you can fly ships and everywhere, like it's lost the Beyond Good and Evil part and the story part and the interesting characters part, but. It might. Who knows when we finally see the game what it's going to be? But
actually, that is why I'm looking forward to it, because, like they said, they're more creating and evolving the world itself and everybody in it more so than focusing on one single character. I can't wait for this. It still looks so good to me. Like the fact that you can take a ship and put your ship in another ship and then go. If they actually, like what happened to No Man's Sky, if they actually
you said
yeah, but they have showed this world. You have seen them play like. if they actually do what this, that's why I don't believe it's going to come to Switch, because of the scope of all of this. And yeah, I know you can put anything on the Switch, but I mean, come on, they put fucking Need for Speed Hot Pursuit on the Wii compared to the PlayStation 3. That was like a fucking Atari game, so you can put anything on it. But if it actually will stay intact, I doubt that. Like, I'm seriously still excited for it until the first time when you see something and you're like, wait, now you're backtracking. Until we get that moment, my hype can't die for this.
At least they didn't really try to lie and say, "Hey, this is the game," and show us like that CG cutscene. That's in game. Like they didn't try that bullshit, you know. But at their reveal was all CGI. Then later on, like right during E3, they did a little more. But as far as like Switch games, we know Starlink is coming to Switch. That's the only game.
And Steve, but I don't think they're going to
confirm. I think Steve's forgotten about. I think that's lost
was
cause.
Starlink that one with the spaceships and you had the little models?
The game actually.
I remember that looked pretty cool. You know,
the game looked interesting. The stupid toys don't interest me, but so I have a feeling there has to be at least one other Switch game. You know, it feels like South Park kind of came out with a whimper. It was kind of a stealth release. I don't think that's going to do much. I don't know what the other games sales have been. I don't know what Rayman Legends sold on Switch, or what else have they had?
Just
Dance.
Just Dance. They had
23 mentioned Rainbow Six, which I forgot about.
I'm just saying, what games on Switch does Ubisoft?
I think it was Rayman.
I think it's just those three, isn't it?
Yeah. So they've had a full year.
Right. We got about Monopoly.
Yeah, that was that
Get
one.
Get a dick, T.
I just
How fucking dare you?
I feel like it might not be like a big collaboration with Nintendo. I mean, I think at this point we can expect the Donkey Kong DLC for Mario+Rabbids. Like that, there's been no update on that, so I wouldn't kind of be shocked if that wasn't part of their E3. And then I just feel like there's got to be at least one game other than Starlink and the Rabbids DLC that's coming to Switch, and I don't know what it would be.
You think it'll be exclusive?
I wouldn't be shocked if they had another exclusive in the lineup. But
I'm a bet on Rayman. If it's anything, I would say Rayman would be it.
I think that would be a smart ass fucking move.
That dude that made Rayman's making Beyond Good and Evil 2. So
yeah, but they could get a new guy. I don't think they.
I don't think it's that impossible.
So
we're talking about a Nintendo Switch exclusive for them. Rayman would make the most sense, especially if we're gonna go into some Smash hypotheticals.
And Shell is the only one at Ubisoft who wants to make Rayman. So would you even want somebody else working on that? I don't know.
It's hard.
So I will say,
it also depends if it was like a 3D Rayman or if it was like another Legend style game.
I would want a 3D.
I wouldn't mind a 3D, but I don't think we're gonna get it. That's my issue.
No chance.
I'm gonna call right now. I think Prince of Persia's happening. I think they're gonna announce it this year.
You know what? If it happens, I'm giving Clocked it the respect, because
Assassin's Creed.
I feel like he said it first. I'm gonna give him the respect.
Yeah, do your wildest dreams of a Switch exclusive that you'd want that maybe Ubisoft would be making. What do you think?
Ubisoft tried to make a new Assassin's Creed, a next gen Assassin's Creed, or a next gen
Prince of Persia
became Assassin's Creed. So fuck them.
I actually love it. I love the Xbox 360 Prince of Persia reboot. It was a different type of game. It was one of those you can't die, but it was like Celeste, but in 3D, where you had all these orbs and you just tried these ridiculous jumps and maneuvers, try to get this orb, and then when you fell too far, your companion would just pull you back up to where your last touch land.
The prince in that game was really cool as well. He was a good character. I like him.
Yeah, and the art direction was like cell shaded. It was amazing, and the banter between the prince and I don't know if she was a princess or not, was great. It was a great story, and actually one of my favorite Xbox 360 games. So I don't know, but that would be my wish. Like
my wish, I would hope that maybe they show the Rabbids DLC or whatever, then all of a sudden the Rabbids continue, and he goes, Rabbids go home too. Like that.
I knew it was coming.
I thought you were gonna say Rabbids and Smash.
I thought you were gonna say Smash.
I actually prefer his idea than your idea, Jude.
But like, man, Rabbids go home too I would have no balls by the end of that trailer. Like I would love it.
What? Would it make you a woman?
Where would they go?
Yeah, I was about to say, where would they go?
I don't know. They
They would
disappeared.
shrink from the screen so much.
I'd be so damn excited.
He would scream so high, eventually he would just have a vagina. I understand that. This got
When
really
is their
weird,
press
really quick.
conference anyway? What day?
What? When is the press
It
conference?
says June 11th on Polygon's website.
Yeah, June 11th.
That's a I think
Monday.
Monday. Yeah, Monday.
4 p.m. So that's
So I mean, hey, that's not bad. It's not a night, but and then
we can actually talk about it if we choose to do the podcast that Monday. We can actually go over it that day.
Yeah,
When's his Microsoft's again?
then I think
Sunday?
that's 7. That's probably 7 o'clock. I'm guessing.
Is that on Monday? I thought someone said they switched to Sunday, but I could be wrong.
Let's
I don't
check.
know, hold on, it's
probably
all
wrong.
Let me check.
He'll beat me.
Oh, right here. So it says Microsoft is 4 p.m. Wait a minute.
That's Eastern, or that's probably Pacific
No, it
time.
says Sunday, June 10th. Is this like old?
No,
I
that's
thought it was
Saturday. That sounds like that'd be Saturday if it's June 10th.
Wait.
No,
yeah,
that's
wait a minute.
Sunday because
I mean Sunday. Yeah, Sunday.
Oh.
I don't actually know.
Yeah, June 10th,
Yeah,
4
June
p.m.
10th,
Eastern.
1
It's the
p.m.
day. It's on Sunday, so
Fuck. Okay.
Okay. All right. No, that
We
makes
could technically do it
yeah.
If-
Well, that worked out because we'll be able to.
because now
cover
we
those.
have because Microsoft made it real easy. They did that last year too. They were on Sunday. I don't think it helped them at all, but still.
Yeah, that would work. Okay, and then
Weird ass day to have a press conference.
so also, do you think there'll be? I'm sure there will be, but like what the usual new sequels for franchises that you think they'll have? Like I think they're gonna have a new Assassin's Creed, even though they say it sounds like they don't want to make as many, but maybe this one sold really well. I don't know.
They need to chill out because as much as Origins didn't really make a splash, most people who played Origins didn't liked it. I mean, I heard they liked it, so I mean, it wasn't a regression, which is always good. So I honestly think they do. I wouldn't be surprised if we got DLC for Origins. I would like to believe them in that they're not going to put a new one out this year, but you know, I've been proven wrong before.
We get some Wakanda DLC.
Don't how dare you?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Wakanda.
So here's
dead.
I'm just kind of thinking of some potentials. Watch Dogs 3, Rayman. We'll say the third one in this new series. The next Splinter Cell, because they just had Assassin's Creed that just did.
Watch Dogs sell enough to justify another one.
I'm just saying these are based on his question. These are some of the potentials.
Okay.
Prince of Persia Resurrection. They just can't release Far Cry 5, so there's no chance of that. What else do they got?
What's the racing game they do?
Well, the Crew 2 has already been announced.
Oh, yeah, Division 2. They're going to do the Division 2 for sure. And I just want to say that we got to thank, I guess OJ sent us a raid. How's it going?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because you see player essence raid. So thank you for sending.
Where's our money then? No, I'm just
thank you for sending our way.
I got 81 viewers.
Welcome to the Juice Blues podcast. And we're just discussing some Ubisoft shit. So
yeah, so should we all put like our name next to what franchise we'll think will get the sequel based on your question there?
Okay.
I got Rayman. I claim Rayman then.
Well, that's bullshit, but I'm gonna claim Rabbids.
You claim Rabbids
too.
You can claim
Rabbids go
Rabbids,
home
what you
too.
can do.
All right.
Motherfucker.
T, what about you?
I go.
You started
Splinter
talking.
Cell. I think Splinter Cell is a thing.
All right, clocked it. What do you think?
Oh, God, you've taken
sequel?
everything.
A sequel? Yeah. Basically, now you gotta start
you
thinking
could-
random as sequels.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna say Rayman as well. I reckon it's gonna happen.
Nope. You
Look
can't.
at this shit. Look at
No,
him
come on.
co-signing over
You
here.
gotta think of a unique answer.
There's only so many games.
There's
like-
only so
Exactly.
many IPs.
Even if you
Red Steel and
Oh, yo,
Red
I'm gonna-
you know, wait there. T jokes around. T jokes around, right? Saying Red Steel.
I'm serious. Red Steel and No More Heroes HD.
all right. What
Yeah,
about
but
you,
I'm gonna
Rachel?
put my money on Juice. Division 2.
Division-
Yeah, like I
Well,
said,
that's-
I'm putting money on Red Steel.
Isn't that like already confirmed? All right. And then
When you say
Retro.
Rayman, which Rayman has been claimed, 2D or 3D?
that's
That's
true.
2D.
I'll
3D.
claim 3D then.
Oh, you're doing 3D?
You can't do that. I was asking the question.
Fuck,
That's
what
what I'm
do you
saying.
want me
Like,
to do?
Just stole that man shit.
Okay,
think I
fine.
can
You
definitely
take 3D, and
believe
I'll take
after-
2D. Is that fine?
One game I
After the
forgot about as
success
well, which
of
actually could get
Mario
ported to
and
the Switch. Sorry,
Retro
sorry.
was saying something.
There's so
Yeah,
much.
after the success of Mario Odyssey and the fact that 3D platformers are starting to get back, I definitely feel a new sequel, like a new part, like 5 or 6, whatever they were at now. I definitely feel a new 3D Rayman, if not coming out, is in the work and will be coming for sure.
I'd be down. I'd totally be down.
Okay.
Go
All
ahead,
right.
Clocked it.
Yeah, sorry. No, I was just going to say one game I forgot about that might actually get ported, even though it is slightly older. But hey, this is a Switch, right? It could get For Honor, which
Oh, right.
That'd be quite the randomness, but hey, fuck it.
yeah, that
Yeah.
could actually come. I think that could happen.
What about I don't know. Like, I mean, to be honest, I know there's gonna be no Rabbids Go Home 2, but I mean, it would just be a dream of mine. It's what I've been waiting for. What I think it came out 2010, so what, 8 years? Fantastic game. I think you should still check it out, people. And then, but honestly, like, what do you think? Because they always have their one final thing. You know how every single time they try to make it a big thing.
Show closer.
What do you think the last game actually will be that they show that they're gonna be? We have one last thing, and this one last thing is gonna be something. So what do you guys think? Do you think it'll be a new IP, an older franchise?
I think
Do you think it's gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be the one that you guessed? I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's
They
gonna be.
said they were working on a new IP, I think, so I could see that being the
Yeah, I knew IP would make the most sense.
I think it's gonna be Splinter Cell. They're gonna drag Michael Ironside old ass on stage. I'm Splinter Cell. I'm back, bitches.
My money's on
One arm.
my money's on Prince of Persia for that. The last big announcement's a new Prince of Persia. That's
A new
my
Prince of Persia is your.
That would be a big thing too.
They're one more thing.
yeah.
Okay. What about you, T?
I would say, man. No,
I don't know. I don't know.
that was really my pick. But
Okay.
I'm not gonna take anything else.
Terrell?
I think it's a new IP.
Okay. Well, what about you, Clocked It?
I'm gonna go with what I said. I'm gonna ooh, Lakey Link said Driver, but I'm
That's Ubisoft?
yeah.
Oh shit, it is.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, Driver. Oh my god.
At the Driver 3D, gotta redeem
I'm not gonna go for the
themselves.
sequel. Can I just go for Honor? I reckon I'll get ported.
You want to go? You think For Honor will be there one more thing? I don't
Yeah.
think so. No offense.
Damn.
There's nothing. You haven't left me with anything else. There's nothing left. There's nothing left.
What about you, Retro? Do you think it's just? I don't know. What do you think? They're one more thing. They're gonna be like one more thing we got, and it's this. What do you think it is?
Yeah, like I said, I think because of the fact that they said they were working for a new IP for 2019. I think for next year, I think that could be the new thing. Either that or Steep too.
No.
Oh my god!
How
Imagine
dare
that'd
you.
be hilarious.
How fucking dare you?
And then at the end of
You
the round,
madman.
switch the first.
That'd be hilarious. Can you
I'm
imagine
so
that?
done with this shit, man. That was too much.
Actually, do you think that's a good? Do you think there'll be like some kind of, you know how the big hype is the battle royale games like Fortnite and shit? Do you think? I feel like Ubisoft kind of follows trends a bit sometimes.
No, they
Do
do
you think-
all the time.
Do you think they'll actually have like, you know?
Their Splinter Cell game will have that.
Well, how
You
about-
think-
Oh, that would
oh,
suck.
Do you think
That
so?
would be
You think they're gonna
trash.
have something
They
like
would
that?
turn Splinter Cell into a battle royale game.
I
there's
can
a mode.
actually see Assassin's Creed be battle royale more
Oh,
so considering their
That'd be
style.
pretty cool though. To be
Actually,
honest.
Assassin's Creed, that wouldn't be too bad, all things considered.
These
Imagine
look better than
100
PUBG.
assassins.
Oh, someone actually metal meant it in the chat. Far Cry Primal 2 battle royale.
Oh, yeah, that would be the better game for that.
That would probably work pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I would actually go with to actually be intrigued in a battle royale. I think Assassin's Creed would be better because we haven't really had a stealth game like that, a multiplayer large stealth game like that where you have to sneak up behind people and everything. I think that could work. I'd be more interested in that than Far Cry, I reckon.
Well, they had a decent multiplayer mode in the last Splinter Cell that was on the Wii U where you could sneak around and
Yeah, it was
take out
dope.
people. But it wasn't to that scale of like 100
No.
players or anything. But
Yeah, and I think honestly, I'm gonna go on a limb and say that they're gonna have some kind of battle royale thing because like we see the new Call of Duty's doing it. Like everyone wants to get on board on that battle royale train for some reason. Well, I mean not for some reason, it makes money, but like
Money.
but like I can't see Ubisoft making a new IP based on it because, like, I think you gotta, if you're gonna enter the already oversaturated market, you gotta be having a big name there. And I think something like an Assassin's Creed could work, or maybe the crew, 100 cars crashing into each other.
That'd be interesting, but I think we've forgotten the obvious one for this battle royale mode would be the Division because it's already third person.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
You're already working clans.
Yeah. That's true. That could work, but that's too easy. Like that's too simple. I feel like.
Well, that's why they didn't do that shit because it's too easy and simple.
Oh my goodness.
That's why I'd like to have a Rabbids Go Home battle royale game. Where it's
Well, they
100
taking no
Rabbids.
chances today.
Hmm?
I'm saying these companies ain't taking no chances today.
That's true.
They're making the same
That's
bullshit.
true.
Yeah, we ain't about their life.
That's very true. And so, on a scale of 1 to 10, people, how hyped are you for the Ubisoft press conference?
Oh my goodness.
What? Let's start with T. What do you? Your laugh was not
Well,
too.
like I could be. Well, I'm not currently hyped, but the things that we were talking about, like a 3D Rayman or Splinter Cell. I love Splinter Cell. Splinter Cell is one of my favorite series. Or even Prince of Persia, like that would make me excited once I saw it. But I don't think that's gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen. So it's hard for me to be hyped about it.
So what's the 10? What do you think?
Okay, I'll give him a 6.
Nice. Juice, what do you think?
Well, based on last year's being so good, and maybe a lot of that was Mario+Rabbids actually looked like a good
You
game.
bad boy.
And but then the crew too looked great. Starlink looked interesting. Beyond Good and Evil CG. I mean, it was.
Yeah, they got
It was
me.
a
They got me
well-made-
with that. Yeah,
They had some good stuff. So my expectations for Ubisoft are raised because of that. So, but I don't. If some of these games like Prince of Persia or a 3D Rayman, if that comes to fruition, it could be, a 10 out of 10. But my anticipation is not that we're not going to see anything that great. So I'm going to put it at a 7.
Okay. All right. What about you, Terrell?
Shit. If I had to be honestly, because Ubisoft never really is anything I get super excited about because there's like maybe 1 or 2 games I care about. If I wanted to be realistic, I probably would say like a 4. But the last year's one was good enough for me to be like, it's about a good solid 5. So 5 for me.
5. All right. What about Retro?
Okay, well, like I said, I have like the lowest opinion of Ubisoft of all, and last year they did really well. Like I was actually happy with everything they did and released, and I feel they can do better. If we get even some of the stuff we talked about today, I think they could realistically reach an 8.
Okay. So what's your anticipation level though? An 8? No, right?
Yeah, I think like definitely an 8. Just
All right.
everything.
It's pretty high.
Just like I said, everything we talked about, like I'm actually just hyped for it, and I feel with what we talked about, with what they own as IP, what they could do, like I said, and I have the lowest opinion of Ubisoft overall. I honestly think
I'm not even laughing about that. I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm just laughing. But what about you, Clocked It?
Yeah, it's kind of like Retro. In my mind, like now, there's virtually no hype whatsoever. I'd probably give them a 4 or 5 in terms of my hype skills for Ubisoft at this E3. But then, like we talked about, they still have those games that could turn into magic and get you excited. If the new Prince of Persia was announced, I'd be hyped. If a new driver was announced and it looked good, I'd be hyped. Same with Rayman, and I mean, didn't they also? Don't they own Tetris right now?
Yeah, they got Tetris, I think, too.
That might be the one final thing.
Well, they could do something with Nintendo with that. I think they done something on the 3DS with Tetris Ultimate, right? Which I don't think was actually that great, but you never know with what the Switch can do in terms of multiplayer and stuff. But I actually think that they're hard at work on Rabbids 2. I actually think, even though they're doing a DLC, I think they're hard at work on it. I think it's been quite successful. And the way the story of that went with the different universes, I mean, they could easily bring in other Nintendo characters, still keep the guns, have Inklings in there with the guns, have Samus with a gun arm, and Captain Falcon and all this stuff. You know, you could get a little bit of a Nintendo universe going on. I'm not saying it's going to be a
I was gonna
massive.
say, what do you think? What do you think is more likely then when it comes to Rabbids? Like you would have a Mario and Rabbids 2 or a something and Rabbids, like say Zelda and Rabbids or Metroid and Rabbids.
Damn man, I don't know. I think honestly, I don't.
I think Mario+Rabbids 2 would be more likely.
That would piss me off, to be honest.
I would. The Rabbids, man.
I think. Oh, fuck. I don't know, man. It kind of confuses me. It tears me apart because on one side I'm like, it's probably on one side it's probably just gonna be a Rabbids 2, and I don't think they'll have like a Rabbids Go Home 2 or just a Raving Rabbids blah blah blah. We're gonna because no one likes them and I'm the weird man out, but like I just it kind of sucks that we're gonna be. I think they're gonna probably just do a Mario and Rabbids 2 or something like that.
What about Rayman Maker? We got slopes in our game, Mario. Fuck you.
Bitch. Maybe.
And that game's still relevant. They're still relevant watching Dashy games.
Damn.
People are taking like the creativity, man. Like,
a whole nother
there's people that probably just make levels just to see if Dashy will play them. There's some level he just played, and I was like, geez, like that's some really great thinking on this person's part. Like that game has way more depth to it than a lot of people were willing to put in, but it's a shame that it's it really won't work without a nice stylus or something for pinpoint accuracy, like a game like that.
Wii U trash.
Stuck on the Wii U, but I think that's where the only way it will work unless it's on PC and you can use a mouse or something. But anyway, that was a
little attachment.
Side thought.
But for me, I think I'm gonna give them like a 7. I'm like pretty hyped to see it because I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty hyped for any E3 conference because I like E3 conferences. They're just fun. But like, I hope they surprise me. I hope there's some kind of something. I don't really know what they could show me that would make me like, yes, this is A, but like I'm excited to see what they'll offer because Ubisoft out of all the conferences at least makes a decent amount of genres of games and not just the usual genres, where Sony, when you see Sony, you think, oh, okay, it's gonna be some kind of story walking around kind of genre thing for their exclusives. While whenever Ubisoft makes a game, it's different. It's usually a different type of genre. Usually, you do get a lot of the shooters and stuff, but you get a mix of, a Rabbids and a Starlink and stuff like that. So, I mean, hopefully they do something pretty cool. But
where is their press conference at? You won't be at that one, will you?
No, I won't. No, that'd be awesome, but no, I won't be.
You know why, in general, I always have such a fucking low opinion of Ubisoft, and even especially the E3. That's why last year I was so surprised. It's because last year was the exception, but before that, isn't it Ubisoft that always have like Aisha Tyler there hosting that shit?
Oh
and
god,
she is so annoying.
Here we go.
She is like the worst host ever, and then you get like half an hour of fucking just dancing and shit, and she comes back. It's like,
oh, now we're gonna see Just Dance. To be honest,
forced cursing and shit.
Yeah, and it's so cringeworthy. That's why last year was so
done
good.
though. I think they learned from last year. I think that's going to be gone for good.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat, or Ruby, just said that there's a huge Splatoon 2 announcement of the 9th, set for the 9th of June, which is that Saturday. And I'm thinking
Splatoon 2 Battle Royale, bitch.
It's probably just the release date for the Octo expansion,
Yeah.
But anyway.
Probably, yeah. And so, I mean, anyone else have any last thoughts on Ubisoft and their company?
I hope they have another good show, honestly. And
yeah, I hope they do. I mean, I sounded negative, would have been me, my high skills being on like 5, but like I said, it could take 1 or 2 games, and I could be up there with an 8, or depends what the games are. It's there's the opportunity there for them to really surprise us and show some quality, because they could do it. They mess up, plenty of times, but when they get something right, they can really surprise you. And we've had the Child of Light, we've had the Rayman Legends, and all these. So
Ubisoft, as far as like third parties go, they're the ones I care about the most.
Yeah.
They've done almost the least on Switch. So wow, that's not fair because a lot of other companies have done absolutely nothing.
They've done the most on Wii U though.
They did a lot on Wii U. They've always supported Nintendo console, so I can't hate on them at all. I want to see more on Switch at this point. Not, that's my big thing.
Not just a few,
not just lip service.
Yeah.
Release service that shit never comes out. Steep.
Yeah, but bitch, I don't want no kisses. I want some tongue. Fuck this shit.
Pecking our necks and shit.
I want you to drop them jaws.
I need the draws, Ubisoft. I need them.
Yeah, kissing the top of your head and shit.
Which hand?
Your head.
Shit.
Which hand?
That Jamaican get you loose, boy. I tell you.
But yeah, I mean, Ubisoft. Hopefully, you make me hard. That's at the end of the day.
I feel like at this point we're just avoiding.
It don't take much.
Yeah, you just show me a rabbit, and I'm gonna be fucking.
Can we not move on, please?
Anyway, wrangle that shit up and let's get on.
So now we're on to the king of gaming, Microsoft. Obviously, we all love them. It's Terrell's.
That shit that I tried.
It's Terrell's favorite company, obviously.
Yo. I love that company, man.
That's the best online.
I'm so excited for State of Decay 2 that doesn't play right.
And obviously they love their world premiere exclusives and the exclusives. So hopefully they don't do that.
Come on,
hopefully they don't do that this time.
Launch console exclusive.
I hate. It's like Microsoft finally figured out the exclusives were important, but then they need to make some. So it's like, well, what can we say that's kind of still technically true?
Yeah.
Launch console exclusive. Eat a
We
dick.
still don't know what that meant.
Yeah. So honestly, like now there's a lot of games previously, like with these other years, like Crackdown and I don't know what else. Scalebound was canceled. What else do they got?
State of Decay
State of Decay 2 will be out before they do their conference.
Was there even an E3 game though? Like I don't remember. It was. Wow.
They showed it off in E3.
I don't remember that at all.
They showed it off and it looked like ass.
It got a long, like 10 minutes, I thought, or maybe like a 5-minute trailer, and it looked like
the shit was overly long.
Hey, Metal Mint said Sea of Thieves 2. What about Sea of Thieves 1? That shit ain't even out.
So actually, I mean, we can talk about that actually, because I was saying, like, do you think there'll actually be a large chunk of this with DLC for things like Sea of Thieves? Because I think there will be. I think there actually will be.
Well,
like,
that kind of has to be,
right?
It needs DLC. Not that I'm saying that that's okay to release the rest of the game and charge for it, but
so you ain't
free DLC.
Oh, it's free. You said it was gonna be free.
Yeah, it needs free DLC and it needs it fast. But the other game that's supposedly confirmed is Forza Horizon 4, I believe.
Oh wow!
Oh my goodness!
Just to throw it out there because you're trying to think of the games that were
super excited.
Yeah, I mean, like to me, it's like I feel like there is gonna be a chunk, I think, dedicated to like Sea of Thieves, because I think they gotta convince people why they even purchased it. Because there's like how many was sold? Well, I mean, a lot of
million.
Yeah, but wasn't a lot of that also counted with the Game Pass or something?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
I thought that was part of the reason why
they didn't count Game Pass. They specifically said,
"Oh, did it?"
Yeah,
okay,
it
sold a good amount. It sold a good amount, and a lot of people, I'm sure, feel cheated. So it's like,
I'm sure.
I like how you just assume that's the baseline.
Mohammed last week said he had like 70 hours into the game.
70 hours. I mean, bravo, my guy.
What level are you, by the way? Oh wait, there is no leveling in that much.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I feel like there definitely will be some chunk dedicated to Sea of Thieves for that conference, which is going to seem weird because we saw it for the past like 2 years. So,
well, the other problem is the game is already out, so it's like, are you really going to waste E3 time on a game that already is out?
I think
it's Microsoft. What the fuck are you talking about?
Hell yeah.
See how much time they spend on that shit and those what do they call those?
Inside Xbox.
Inside Xbox. That shit need to be 10 minutes, man.
Oh my goodness.
And then and what do you think there'll be a chunk of the conference actually dedicated, or at least talking about sales and press of the start button for the Xbox One X?
I would lose my fucking mind.
I don't think so. I think they're gonna.
Microsoft would blow y'all socks off. Watch it.
I think they're just gonna do what they did last year and show us a bunch of games you can play on a bunch of other consoles and PC, and have like 35 games. Which when I was reviewing theirs last year, some people were super excited. I'm like, they showed 35 games. You're not gonna remember more than half of them. You've probably already forgotten, and almost all of them are either on PC or going to be on PS4. If other than the ones that are Windows 10 and Xbox exclusive. So it's like, I just think they're just going to keep trying to show more games that aren't exclusive to the Xbox. I mean, I'd be shocked if they had any. I'd be so shocked if they had an exclusive game to the Xbox One. I would literally be shocked.
Yeah, I would be too.
I don't understand. Like, somebody else want to go? Because I got a lot to say.
No, go ahead. I'm just quick on this. I think, like, apart from the obvious shit that we said, I think we'll get a lot of stuff from Xbox, like you said, that's going to be on everything else. And I honestly think people in the gaming community, we love using this word, but I think it definitely fits here. But I think they would dedicate like half an hour or some shit to Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 to damage control that shit. Like, I think like this shit one game is so broken, one game is half a game. Like, these are like their exclusive. This is technically what drives the system, and both of these things are broken as fuck. So I think they need to convince people to buy these games. So I think they're gonna, when it comes to Sea of Thieves, I see them probably do some DLC, like up the percentage on how complete the game is. Let's put it like that. And with State of Decay 2, I think they're gonna have these awesome trailers that make it seem like totally not broken as fuck.
Okay. What about T? You want to go on your rant? You want to?
I don't really have a rant. I'm the most optimistic probably in this group about Xbox.
Yeah, but it doesn't come off as genuine. I feel like you
wait a minute, I'm serious, man. Because they
I can't believe you, T.
Every year they have potential, but it just doesn't, they don't reach their potential. I mean, fuck. I mean, announce Perfect Dark. That's a game you can do, Microsoft. No, you can do a first-person shooter, futuristic. Like, that's something you can do. And the fans, every year, they want that shit. Like, that's a game that everybody wants. Like,
never get
Nintendo fans, Xbox, they all want that game. Is it that hard to make that game happen? I don't think so. Like, put the guys who make Halo on it. They ain't doing shit with Halo correctly, so why don't you give them a shot? I'm a Halo fan. I really like Halo. I thought Halo 5 was kind of trash. But there's games out there that they can drop. I've pretty much given up on most rare IPs as far as Microsoft doing them. But I think something like a Jet Force they can do. Something like a Perfect Dark they can do. And that would be very satisfying for me. I just don't believe a company. I'm talking about Microsoft, the company. Not just Xbox division, but I just don't believe a company would put out a piece of hardware, $500 piece of hardware in the Xbox One X, and not have shit to make you want to buy it. I can't, I can't fathom that. I feel like there is something in the pipeline. I feel like they spent all that time.
To be fair, that's how PlayStation did it.
Huh?
I said, to be fair, that's how PlayStation did it.
Yeah, but the PlayStation, they're the driver's seat. They don't have to worry about anything. They were
the cheaper console.
It was like Xbox, as far as I'm concerned, did it the right way. As far as what the tech actually does, it's a powerful console. Like, and I just don't believe that they just go put that console out there and not have something. Like, so it's like I said, they have potential. Like, I thought the original Xbox was a great system. The size of it and the controller was garbage until they did the controller type S, which that's when I bought one. And then Xbox 360, a great console, except for that hardware fuckery, like the red ring and shit. Like, it was a great console outside of that, but that was a huge thing. And how did they stumble so far? I don't know.
See, I have a question though. When's the last time you played your Xbox One?
I played Xbox One yesterday, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
what'd you play?
I'm playing the Surge, man. I'm
yeah.
Trudging through that trash. I'm gonna beat that game. But yeah, I play. This is not really fair. I play Fortnite on it with some of my students and stuff. So I turn it on for that, and I would like to turn it on for more things. I would like a reason to buy Xbox One X because it does a lot of cool things. Like, it does do a lot of cool stuff, and I'm just waiting for the game that will, or games, not just one game. I want some games to push me over the edge, make me get one. So
Well,
I just feel like I could be wrong. I mean, their conference is on a Sunday. That's the most sleepiest day. You ain't gonna have no big, crazy announcements. I don't think on a Sunday, but I could be wrong. But I actually have a soft spot for Microsoft. I am pulling for them to deliver, and they, like I said, there's a few things. If they could do them some rare games, Rare the company, not Sea of Thieves or Sea of Thieves game. Just some of the IPs that I think they could pull off, and they're just not doing anything with. So, do I think they do it? Probably not, but I hope they got potential. They got potential.
Yeah, well, I mean, what do you think, Retro? Do you think they'll have anything about maybe the Xbox One X? Do you think they'll actually try to convince you to maybe buy one? I don't know.
Price drop, maybe.
Price drop? Like, I don't know. Would they even announce price drop at E3? Be like, hey, guys. Maybe. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Price drop for what? X?
X and X.
I mean, they have to do something. I mean, like, it's hard to have put faith in them, I feel, because they basically abandoned a whole market being Japan. It's like they literally said, fuck you, let's just not bother anymore. They don't bother getting games and developing games. So the thing is like selling like 10 units a week or some shit over there. So they would have to convince, but I think especially the X, like it is literally meant for people who already own an Xbox, because I mean, I don't see it it's not doing that well. I don't see them putting much effort in it. I really think they're gonna try. This is gonna sound so sad, but I really think they're gonna focus on games in some way, shape, or form.
But here's the thing, like Retro, you're a fan of you're like me. You're a big fan of Morrowind. Have you seen Morrowind on Xbox One X? Like it looks like a fucking night and day game. Like it looks amazing on Xbox One X. And for people like myself, probably not you, but people like myself, that's an incentive, but it's not enough of an incentive. Because I have a backlog of original Xbox One games, original Xbox games, and I have 360 games, and it's just like that is a cool thing. I think with a retro gamer like myself and yourself as well, like that's compelling to me. But I need a killer app.
That's the thing, yeah. Because each console it needs two things. Like people buy a Switch because a lot of people they like Nintendo. People are like, yeah, why am I going to buy a Nintendo console? But a lot of PC gamers, they see the Switch, you can take it anywhere. Okay, that's an incentive. Right. With the PS4 as well, you have PS4 has great exclusives, and it's like very in the price range. Like it's extremely affordable when it comes to the power you get from it. But yeah, with Xbox, like they don't have any actual exclusive. It is overpriced. You have the 4K thing for all the games, but most people, if they have a PC, they could do most of that shit anyway. So even for somebody like me, I'll just use the PC. Like there is just no actual incentive, I feel, to buy an Xbox One X, especially with the price it's still at.
Yeah, it's just too expensive and it doesn't do enough yet.
I would consider buying an Xbox One if Ori 2 was exclusive to it. Like if I knew it wasn't going to be on Steam day and date, I would really consider buying the S model, to play that game, and then play some of the other games that I never got around to buying on PC. They're going to be super cheap, but
it's because like most people here, like we like I was legit interested in Xbox One in the beginning. All these awesome games, damn, dude, all the awesome games. I was interested in Rico and shit. I was interested in the Sunset Overdrive, and I was interested in Fable, and I was interested in Scalebound, and then they dropped Scalebound, and then they dropped Fable, and I'm like, yeah, okay, Rico is already less appetizing than it should have been. I'm not gonna buy a whole fucking system just for Sunset Overdrive. It's like they don't.
That's literally the only exclusive of
I think literally I'm in the same boat as Retro right now.
It's like they give you one reason to buy it in Japan as a Blu-ray player. That's how bad it is. Like that is literally the argument. Like people were sitting around the table and thought that was a good idea. That is all they had to go on. It's like that shows you everything.
Yeah, I think Xbox One X dropped down to $400. Like that's definitely gonna get some people's attention. But I mean, the base PS4 is like, I don't know. They added a terabyte hard drive, so it's actually, I think it's still around 300 with a game. Like that'd be pretty good. The PS4 Pro is still 400. I mean, you can get comes with God of War if you can find that one. That would definitely help. But other than Ori 2, for me, like for the games I know they're gonna show, that's the only one. And I really don't need to see any more of it. It already looked amazing, and I just know it's gonna be a game I want to play and gonna enjoy because the first one's so good. Like they better have some surprises lined up. And like someone joked in the comment section about Ubisoft, if they had anything big, it would have been leaked by now, which may or may not be true. But maybe, I don't know, how is Microsoft for keeping secrets? Like, do they usually have surprises that come out of nowhere? Like, I don't think.
Not really.
Yeah, I can't really think of any, and I mean, I don't follow Microsoft like that, but it feels like almost everything they show is expected. Other than Sea of Thieves was a surprise, but it didn't really win anybody over in its first reveal. And Cuphead kind of was come out of nowhere and took people by surprise. But do they have a surprise game that's going to blow people's mind, like with PS4 did with God of War, which 2 years later comes out and sells really great? Hopefully it's not a game that's 2 years away, but do they have? And do they even have any IPs to have a game like that?
I want to throw it out here real quick because my biggest concern with Microsoft isn't a simple one game situation. Microsoft, in my opinion, is a company that can't afford to be like okay, because none of their games. All right, so the only game they have left that we know about for sure that's coming is Crackdown 3. Which I believe is a holiday game now, or around the latter half of the year.
I kind of think that would be delayed to 2019 again.
Guys, y'all
think that game's being totally revamped.
The point I'm making is that Microsoft's biggest issue this entire generation is they don't understand how exclusives work. They don't even understand how to make their own games, it feels like, lately, because almost every one of their made games hasn't been really that appealing. Because fucking Halo 5 kind of came out, it was whatever. Gears of War came out, fine, whatever, and then you got Sea of Thieves and fucking Crackdown. Well, not Crackdown, but State of Decay 2, and it's like they can't seem to just be consistent about games. And my thing is, if you wanted to blow me away, all you need to do is put out at least like a string of 5 games or more, 3 to 5 games that people want, and that's my concern. Just put out games. They don't have to be fucking like Last of Us quality. Well, Last of Us quality for those who love Last of Us. You get my point. Just good fucking games, and try to be versatile. That's the one thing I hate. I absolutely, like, out of everything else with Microsoft, I absolutely hate they are a game company that refuses to mix genres. It's the same one genre they fuck with. And if they do anything else, it's like a side content thing. Just all I need from Microsoft is just a string of 3 to 5 games that's only on Xbox. You can only get on Xbox that are worth buying. And I know I'm not going to get it. That's what trips me out. Because that's not hard. Every other company does that throughout the year. We don't have to wait until E3 to figure that shit out. But that's Microsoft's state of affairs. But that's just my issue personally.
So no Banjo-Kazooie 3 officially a proper Banjo-Kazooie game?
Yeah, you jumped to the wrong company.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, do you think what would be your big like game that would be like, okay, this turned out to be a pretty damn good conference? Because to me, like, even if they showed off like a Halo 6 stuff like that, like, I'm not really that hype for that franchise anymore, or something like a Forza. Like, I don't know. I mean, and it's got its fan bases, but I don't think they got the amount of numbers that they probably would want anymore. So it's like, are they? Can
I have my take while I'm while literally talking about that right there? Yeah. So I've owned every Microsoft console apart from the Xbox One, and I was like T. The Xbox 360 was great. It had great games. It was a great system apart from the Red Ring of Death, which is just unforgivable. I mean, it should have been recalled from the market. It was so bad. But the problem with Microsoft with me is that it's kind of we what we want from, like, we always talk about Rare. So T was talking about Rare. How we would love a Perfect Dark, how we love all this stuff. But it's like, what are we asking for? Do we want a new Banjo-Kazooie? Who's going to do it? Rare?
Ooh, you're right.
Or you can't trust those guys to make it because it's not Rare anymore. What about a new Jet Force Gemini? I can't trust it. Will Robin Beeland turn up and do the soundtrack for it? Will all these old guys turn up? They're not going to turn up. They're already working for Playtonic and doing all that stuff. That they're loving it. And with Microsoft, with their IPs, they like Terrell said, they float around in the same markets for so long that they rinse out absolutely everything that they create. They've rinsed Halo, they've rinsed Gears of War, they've rinsed Forza, even though Forza is still arguably their most solid titles. It's still just played off. So the announcement of a new Forza for casual players like us who wouldn't mind to dip into Forza every now and then, it means nothing. It means literally absolutely nothing. They don't have Mass Effect anymore. I was a massive Mass Effect fan. Mass Effect 1 and 2 were phenomenal, especially number 2. Number 3 was terrible, and then Andromeda I didn't even touch with a badge ball, because that's gone the way of EA. So I feel like with Microsoft is what can they announce that can really get me excited? And the honest answer is literally nothing. That's a hardcore truth for me. We still got one or two things coming from them, right? And I feel like for this E3, I honestly don't think they will have that many exclusives, if any. I mean, I'm happy and willing to be surprised, but there's we mentioned Ori and the Blind Forest. They could show another phenomenal trailer for Ori and the Blind Forest, and it could still wow you. There was another game they showed called The Last Night. I don't know if anyone remembers this. It was a cyberpunk 2D pixelated type game. Looked absolutely stunning, with neon lights and everything. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and check out the trailer for The Last Night. It looks incredible. If they showed that again, but once again, I think it's only console exclusive, but going to be on PC as well. But that could be an awesome trailer. And then what can they show? They probably get Tomb Raider onto their event first, perhaps. They'll have the third party stuff, and if, for example, we got who are the guys who done the Witcher? Sorry, I should know because
CD Projekt Red.
Yeah,
CD Projekt Red.
So they're supposedly rolling up to E3 with Cyberpunk, right? Now I'm a massive Cyberpunk fan.
Hence Cyberpunk,
yeah. Hence my interest in The Last Night as well. And Cyberpunk from the Witcher team, that futuristic type setting, I think will blow Deus Ex away. I think it'll blow any other cyberpunk type futuristic game in that style that we've ever played. I think it's going to be phenomenal. And if anything, that will be one game that will take great advantage of the Xbox One X. If they can show that game looking absolutely phenomenal on that console, then I feel that will be a great selling point for them. But that's an if. That's if that turns up. And we could talk about fancy games. I mean, would I be interested in new Battletoads? Of course, I think everyone would. Of course we would. It's they sit on these IPs, and I've given up caring now because not only have they sat on them, they've literally just done nothing with them. And we got the Rare replay, and I was mildly excited about that because those are those games in their original forms, and they've been tweaked a bit, but they're still just HD games. And I honestly, even if Jet Force Gemini 2 was announced, I'd be intrigued, and I'm like one of the biggest Jet Force Gemini fans. I'd be intrigued, but I'll be nervous as crap, and I shouldn't be nervous for games of this caliber, of this name. When they get announced, it's like with any company. When they get announced, you should be so excited. But it's gotten to the point where you're just nervous now and skeptical, and that's what Microsoft have become. They never were a games company. They got a games division, but it was never designed to be, in my eyes, a games company that wanted to truly embrace gaming and create wonderful IPs in all their glory. They found their niche, and they literally just stuck with it. And it's just everything else they've had to buy in, a bit like Sony. Everything else they've had to buy in. And when you just look at Microsoft themselves, there's just nothing there for me now. So they're gonna have to pull some serious stuff out of the bag. I could get excited about a new Halo if they took that multiplayer to the next level. I've talked about this before. I want that Halo. I don't want a battle royale mode in Halo.
Oh God.
I don't want it. What I want from Halo, and I've talked about this before, sorry, but I want the maps to evolve in a way where I wanted this in Halo 2, where you have a team of 16 people on the back of a Scarab. They're Covenant players, so you go as an elite and a grunt or whatever, and they're Covenant players, and the Scarab is like walking almost like an AT-AT in Star Wars towards a shield generated on the end of the map. And then everyone else who are playing as Spartans and stuff, 16 players, whatever, they're in their Jeeps, and they start driving towards this giant Scarab that's walking towards its base, and they have to find a way to board the Scarab, take out whoever's on board while they're still respawning, and get to the front of the ship and destroy the engine or something, right? And that's a game mode. And I feel like that type of multiplayer just doesn't exist outside of games like PlanetSide and stuff like that, which we don't really consider to be console games. But I need Halo to evolve like that. If they show something like that, my God, I'd be excited again. But Halo doesn't do that. Halo has not changed. I don't care what anyone says. It hasn't changed. It's gotten worse for me. It's just they haven't tried. And I need to see them try. And I don't think they've got it in them anymore. I really don't.
Oh, you guys are forgetting the game changer, the highlight of E3, Rise 2. I mean, Muhammad keeps mentioning this game.
Rise 2 is a thing. Is that real?
That's like people asking for the 1886 2. Like
the order. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people.
Rise is kind of done. I mean, I know people have. I haven't beaten it yet. I'm right at the end. It's alright.
It's a very average game to me.
It's pretty average to me. Like
maybe they could make something more of it, but we already know.
Yeah.
Microsoft's already, they're already starting a promotion. They got the E3 hype building up with this. I posted in the chat and this Twitter post. They got a partnership with Chips Ahoy for Sea of Thieves free in-game content. You buy a box of Chips Ahoy, and then you could enter to win an Xbox One X. So there you go.
Oh damn! I like Chips Ahoy.
Yeah, I like. I didn't. There's another cookie brand that was better, and then they went away. I forget what it was called.
I like Oreos.
I say they can do. Of course, Microsoft can do a first-person shooter like Perfect Dark, but they already had the crack at it, and it was utter trash. Yeah. Like Perfect Dark Zero was garbage.
You got a female lead character. I mean, that's kind of an in thing right now. You could do something with it and make it Xbox One X exclusive, and then it can sell to 1 million people.
Maybe take it out of first person. I don't know. Go into third person. Do something.
But if you're hoping for Rise 2, I mean, maybe they could do something with the sequel. But isn't that
there's potential with Rise? Don't get it wrong.
The Crytek kind of didn't they kind of
it was a Crytek game that used to be like a. It used to be
look at the combat
game, and they changed it over to a real game.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a
yeah.
Look at the combat in Rise, and it's not that much different from God of War.
Yeah. It's a launch game, and it looks great. It'll stand next to games that come out today. So, but that's pretty much all there is to it. Like the combat system needs an overhaul, and the story was okay, but it's pretty linear. Like. They could do some stuff to it, but are they going to? Like, are they really going to?
Clark was trying to say, I mean, the combat's similar to God of War. They could. Yeah. I don't think they'll put that kind of money into it, but.
No, probably not.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. And, oh, no, you go on. Go on.
I was just going to say my expectations are as low as they've ever been for Microsoft. Because the Xbox One X is out. I kind of already feel like I know what games are going to show, plus a bunch of third-party games. My expectations are they're in the tanks, and I think they were last year, but I think they're lower this year.
So we doing a number rating again?
Yeah. So let's do that 1 to 10 shit. I'm gonna say for me, I'm gonna go and say it is 6. No, I'm gonna say a 5. I'm gonna say a 4. That it's that like
this nasty aggression that just happened.
Because that like just because Xbox it's been probably the most disappointing one of the most disappointing things in my life. I don't know, maybe not my life, but like in terms
This
of
generation.
purchases, in terms of that kind of stuff, it's just like it sucks mainly because like the fact that everything's on PC, it hurts me because it's like, damn man, what's the point of owning it? God damn, you know, it's a problem, and they're never gonna solve it because obviously everything will be on PC. So I mean, for me, it's just like I don't really think they got anything that will show me like, oh my god, this is awesome, because I guarantee you if it is, it's probably gonna be maybe a third party game that's on PlayStation and PC. Like maybe they'll show a new Battlefield. It's like, yeah, but that's not your game, guy. So it's like it's not really like the biggest of deals, and I just don't think the conference is gonna be that great. So I'm gonna think it's gonna be just a solid conference that shows some games that I'll be playing on PC and continue to use my 4K Blu-rays for my Xbox One S. I think that's what it's gonna be for
I
me.
wonder if they didn't do this whole Windows 10, like where the Xbox One would be if all those games were exclusive to the actual
man.
It
Xbox.
would be better.
It'd
It would be the
different.
system.
It would be
I
different.
wonder where it'd be. I mean, you're talking.
It would definitely be better. I just don't know about how much.
You're talking what?
I think it would be a lot
Cuphead?
better.
Gears,
You got-
Gears 4, Ori, Cuphead.
But that wouldn't change the quality of their IPs. That's the problem.
I'm just wondering where the systems, the console sales would be. Where if it would
Recore.
Well, I mean,
if it would have swayed people enough to like slow down the PS4's momentum with the X out now, like if these games were truly exclusives, I just wondering. We'll never know. I'm just curious.
I think it would have helped, but I don't think it would have helped that much, all things considered. Because half the other half of the problem was the quality of their games. Period. Like it wasn't just the fact that you can get them on PC. Even if you could only get them on Xbox, there was like 3 games worth owning, like 3 games.
See, I don't buy that because I feel like those games get ragged on more because you can get them anywhere. I feel like if those games were actually Xbox exclusive games, they wouldn't get as much flack. I feel like people feel, oh, I can get it. I don't need to buy an Xbox. I can get it anywhere. I think that's part of the reason people look down on those games.
It definitely is. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have made that much of a difference. That's what
I think it would make 25% more, different.
But if you look at
significant, I think
maybe
if you look at the year the S came out, it was leading the MPD. What year was it?
S was doing really well when it dropped.
This came out in what, 2015, 2014?
No,
when did the X come out?
The X came out last year.
X was 2016.
So I would say the S was
2016
possibly.
Yeah, it was a year before the X.
Yeah, then the X came out last year, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was doing well, and if you had Gears 4 exclusive and Sea of Thieves really sold as well.
Forza exclusive, all those Forza.
I think that would have been big. I do. I feel like that.
I just think it would be in a better position and probably be a little more exciting.
Oh no, that's not even a question. It's just I don't think it would be that much of a difference. That's my.
Well, I think what's really going to damage is when they say Halo 6 is coming to PC and people are like, "Oh shit,
fuck,
wow, I really don't need to buy an Xbox for Halo anymore." You know, what I mean, that's kind of their big thing, even though it didn't sell a ton anymore. But
I guess.
And also, well, I mean, Terrell, 1 to 10, what do you think?
I'm gonna be real with you because I feel like Clocked It was channeling my inner spirit animal when he was talking. I was like, man, he's like he's speaking from my heart. My opinion of Microsoft is so low. On top of I don't even have the history. That's the thing. Like, I was aware of Xbox as a brand, but I've never cared for them as a brand. Although I recognize the quality it had, at least when it first came out, like the OG Xbox. The 360 I have really no love for whatsoever. Particularly because I feel like that console's a piece of shit and it shouldn't have even sold as much. You know what? I'm not gonna get into that. I probably would say I'm in the negative. I'm in the negative. I'll say that. I'm like -3 right now. And let me explain that.
How is that possible?
You know how it's possible? Because it's coming from a guy who, as of right now, has one game they really want to play that they can't play, and it's only on Xbox. And even if they were to put out like 2 or 3 games, that to me is like a prerequisite. Like, you should at least have 3 games I want to play.
What game is that?
No, I'm saying if they put out 2 or 3
No, you said
games.
there's one game that's
one
Oh no, that's Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset.
That's the only game. That's the only game that's still Xbox exclusive that I can't get on PC. That's the only fucking game I care about on Xbox as of right now. Because everything else I can get on PC. I'm at a negative primarily just because it is like there's no fucking. I don't have. They would have to put out games for me to be like, okay, at least the console was the conference was worth having right now. As of right now, I don't even see the point of them having a conference, unless they put, like I said, they would have to put out at least 2 or 3 games that are worth a damn to even justify the conference existence. On top of having more games than that to make people excited for the rest of 2018 and 2019, because we got one game, we have one exclusive. Well, one main exclusive, mind you. And I guess if you want to count Forza or whatever. And it's like your track record has been pretty shit so far this year. You have Sea of Thieves has a bunch of work that needs to be done on it. State of Decay doesn't even need to be fucking released, it seems like. I'm not super excited about what you're about to put out anyway. So yeah, I'm sticking with it. I'm like at a -3 right now.
That's probably going to be the lowest of our lifetime in terms of hype. That's pretty incredible. -2. I've never heard of that, but
I know.
Hey,
I'm being real with you,
dude. That's pretty incredible. What about you, T? Where you at?
I'm at a 7.5.
How?
Again, it has a lot to do with. I just explained how. Like they have stuff, they got potential.
I ask again, how?
And I believe that they ain't just go throw that expensive ass piece of tech out there and do nothing with it. I just feel like it makes no sense to do that for any company to do that. It just makes no sense. So, again, it's because the X is out. It's been out a year, or going on a year this year, and they had to spend the resources to get that thing out, and it seems like they put good work into it. And
didn't they say themselves that the Xbox One X was just like a slight extension? And
yeah, I don't mean like. I know what you're saying. You're saying yeah, I got it. But what I'm saying is, I think they put a lot of resources into that when they didn't put into the games or IPs they're working on or whatever. And so now that it's out, I'm not saying games are going to be exclusive to Xbox One X or anything like that. I just mean like some bigger first party stuff because the X is out now. So it's
you feel like they're the setup. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, to be fair, they put resources in Sea of Thieves as well.
Well, we talking about a Rare that is a shell, a eggshell of its former self. Like they are long removed from even the Star Fox Adventures. Like they're like the aborted
fetus, not yet.
They are long past that. So
what was your score for your?
Could
he said a 7.5.
Okay,
I think it was a 7.5. I think Microsoft could. They have the resources to hire. Who's the company? Platonic, and give us a Banjo-Kazooie 3. Hire them, add some people in there, some veterans, and make a Banjo-Kazooie 3, a game that everybody wants. But that's potential. That means they're gonna do shit. So I guess
it's like you've been sipping some of that purple drink.
I'm holding out hope. I don't believe it's gonna happen, but they have the potential and the ability to make it happen.
And get the fuck out of here.
Well, what about Clocked? What do you think? 1 to 10.
I'm probably on a 2. And I leave that space for the 1 because
I'll pull it for you. I'm with you, Muhammad. I'm with you, man. I'm trying to hold it down over here. Drinking that green juice, that green tea. Nobody's with me though. I'm all alone.
But I think if I give it a 2, it shows that I'm not like completely stone cold. That there's just that just that bit of ray of hope, just left. Just that small point before it hits rock bottom. But I feel like for me personally, they are at a 2. There's literally no hype whatsoever for me whatsoever. What do I think their conference will be overall? I think they'll have a 6 or a 7 out of 10 conference because they'll still show, that there will still be quality third-party games shown, and they always look great in compilation when you have them at your events, whether they're exclusive or not. and you'll see some indie games there. I feel like you'll see some surprise indie games from them. And in terms of them having big budget first party exclusives, you know, I don't know how many third parties will put their money on Microsoft now to give them an exclusive. I think that'd be weaker. So I do feel like they need to rely more on themselves, and we might get 1 or 2 games, but those games will have to be something truly sexual for me to get hyped, and I don't feel like it's there. So yeah, a 2 for me, but I reckon they'll have a 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10 conference. So.
All right, Juice.
I'm gonna say 3. That's my excitement level. But I'm not saying that that there's not the potential to be good. Like, there could be some really good stuff. I'm just saying my current expectations are about a 3 out of 10. Like, I'm not expecting them to do anything special. I think it's gonna be last year's show minus the quote unquote excitement of having the Xbox One X and everything that was revealed back then, you know.
How can you say that, Juice? Didn't you see the last Inside Xbox? Come on, man.
No. So I just think they're lost. This generation, I just feel like Phil Spencer, I thought he was the guy, but I just wonder how much he was forced into this whole Windows 10 promotion thing. Remember the first couple years that was heavily talked about, and they still kind of did the Windows 10 Xbox exclusive thing, but then they're like, well, we're getting rid of generations, we're blurring the line of generations, you know, we're going to come out with this powerful Xbox One X, but it's going to play everything, which is great, except for when you want to take advantage of that 6 teraflop GPU, other than to just have higher resolution. Like, you can't, because it has to work on Xbox One. I just feel like they're lost. I think the Xbox One X, it should have just been called the Xbox 3 or whatever. Somebody had a different name for it, or 4. Xbox 4K or something, you know, something stupid. But they should have just waited till this year, had it be a new console, and tried to just wipe the slate clean, because just think if Nintendo just put out a little bit more powerful Wii U and just kept forcing the issue with the gamepad and the 2-screen experience, and people weren't buying it. Like, it's a lost cause. Like, I mean, yeah, if you can, some people I just heard, wasn't it a developer, somebody kind of called out the Xbox's actual console sales numbers, and they were like low 30.
They don't even tell you anymore.
That was EA. That was EA who worked it out, wasn't it? Based off
EA, and you know, VG Charts has it near 40, but I mean, the Switch, I feel the Switch will outsell the Xbox One's lifetime numbers by March 2019. Like, I think it'll be easily surpassed. So I just think it's a lost cause right now, and you're treading water, and barely treading water. You're up to your nostrils right now, and it's like, I don't think there's anything left that could save the Xbox One brand. So that's my take.
Okay, and what about retro 1 to 10?
Well, I'm like you, Robert. I'm like, I love E3. I love watching the conferences. It's always so much fun. Even Ubisoft, like this thing that I have no hope for, that I really hate. Even the worst Ubisoft conference, I still think it's entertaining. It has ups and downs. But last year, we had like a 2-hour Xbox conference, and they had like 4K DRM liquid cooling Blu-rays for half an hour, and then you got an hour and a half fucking Sea of Thieves. They literally,
I love how you always make that longer. It was like
they killed
an hour. Now it's up to an hour and a half.
That shit it killed E3 for me. So, well, I'm not gonna change my number just because Clocked had set a 2. Like, I'm giving them a 2. I'm giving them a 2. A 3 if they have Isha Tyler on it. That's how bad they are. She could actually improve the shitfest that was Xbox. Like, I'm expecting nothing from it. Like,
How is it? I gave them a negative number, and everyone else thinks worse in comparison for some reason.
The only thing that this 2 for me represents is my joy of watching conferences. And like I said, like, seriously.
Well, you know, I mean,
I get the lowest number. That's what trips me out.
Shovel some dirt on them. They're done.
You know what's gonna happen now? Microsoft will have the best conference in TV.
Yeah, watch.
Hey, look, if they do, good for them.
Well, I'll say this. So I mean, Xbox. There's something. There's something. I don't know what they are, but there's something. But is that it? Anyone got some final thoughts about Microsoft and their box, or are you good?
I mean, I wouldn't
Jesus
even
Christ.
be shocked if they have another Xbox console announced. I'm not,
Really?
I wouldn't predict that, but I just honestly wouldn't be shocked. I'd probably facepalm and be like, I wouldn't be completely shocked if they had
What
a
if it was
brand new
backwards compatible?
Xbox 4K, bitches. True 4K gaming.
60
Yeah, maybe.
frames.
Yeah, maybe.
Xbox extinct.
Yeah, I don't know. They might not even ever do another console, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I said that. I kind of feel that, and it's it goes back to our number twos and stuff. There's no hype. Why would I don't want another Xbox from Microsoft. They haven't done anything with this one. It's just why would I want another one? Yeah, that's the hard truth.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we're done talking about Ubisoft and Microsoft and oh my god, I didn't realize they're
All
both
that
soft.
soft.
Yeah. Too soft.
Too
soft.
Too soft, no hards. It pisses me off.
Just like some pieces of poo.
But next week actually is gonna be Sony and Bethesda, and it's gonna be done by a new guy, new host, not me. I'm gonna retire for my for my 2 weeks in or my 1 week in. So yeah, dude. It's been good. We're gonna do some final thoughts. If anyone wants to go, I'll say Terrell first.
He always goes first.
Hey, everybody.
Good podcast.
Guess what? Dang. What? No, that's Microsoft. I'm sorry. It was wrong. Bad joke. Anywho, since we were talking about this soft ass podcast, I think we went pretty hard, all things considered.
Yeah.
I'm fucking garbage. Don't tell me. Anywho, good podcast. Robert does a pretty good job as a host. It's like the most you ever hear him talk. It's fucking insane.
He's like a savant.
Exactly. I see Juice has learned my knack for cutting into other people's final thoughts. It's fine. It's fucking, I thought last week was the trolling one. Jesus Christ, Juice, sit out. It's fine. Game wise, Little Nightmares is out. I fucking forgot.
Yeah.
I felt like that game got stealth released. Like they talked about, it's coming out, and then I looked on the eShop. Oh shit, it's out. Damn, there's like no. I haven't even looked up footage of it yet. Like I don't know if anyone's talking about it.
Yeah, go buy it though. Go buy it.
Yeah, but I've seen it. It looks good. I still need to get Battle Chasers.
Go buy that too.
I mean, maybe I don't know. I didn't play it.
I can't win at this point. Life's a game. Play to win. I'm done.
All right.
I'm dead.
Retro. How about you?
Okay, I'll keep it simple. I just want to say how fucking glad I am that Robert did this week, considering he's the only person that could make it bearable talking like for 2 hours about Xbox and Ubisoft at the same time. It's like it was a blessing having him on. So it actually was a lot of fun.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. If you pay me, maybe I'll do like other podcasts.
I would honestly
you're gonna do something else then.
in Nintendo voice chat versus the idiot that does it now. What's his name?
Oh, Flip.
Philip?
Well, yeah.
You call him Flip?
Flip was the name of his YouTube channel.
The Nintendo voice chat is very hard to watch these days, but
Well, he's just not great at it.
no. And you can tell he's not really.
He doesn't have a lot of
fan.
knowledge when it comes to
He's not, yeah. And then they got this new girl who's only plays her Switch when she's traveling. That's the extent of her Switch playtime.
Oh, is it? I haven't looked at the last few episodes. I need to go look at it.
It's hard to watch, like you said.
Wow, it turned this into a shitting on Nintendo voice chat.
They had a
shitting
really
on
good
everybody.
episode, though. Not that long ago, they had the creator of SteamWorld Dig.
Yeah, that was cool.
And that was the only good episode.
All right. Well, I guess Juice, if you want to go, I mean, you were talking.
All right.
So,
Robert, excellent job hosting, and I didn't tell you guys this was having different people host. It's like an audition, Gonna have a new host permanently. No, just kidding.
Imagine.
I do like the switching host. I think we're gonna keep going until people get sick of it. But
like the singing and shit. Like,
yeah, I was worried he was gonna his hosting was gonna be about at the same level of his final thoughts. So my expectations for his hosting was at about a 3, but your actual score was a 9.5. So good job.
What's the 0.5 that I missed?
He had high expectations like Xbox.
But I probably should save this for next week. But I just talking about press conferences and E3s. I want to remind people of E3 2014. Now there was IGN gave it to Nintendo, for having Zelda. I think basically won it on its own, but there was quite a few people thought Sony's was good. I think that was the year. It was like 2.5 hours. This isn't a retro death exaggeration. I think it was literally like 2 hours and 20-something minutes.
Yeah, what's
Why you just sitting there saying Richard just exaggerates everything?
How many times they hit the share button, whatever. But I was looking on VG Charts pre-orders, just I don't know, just waiting, just kind of browsing around looking for any kind of new news or anything. And there was a CGI trailer in 2014 that I complained about for a game 4 years ago. It's still on the pre-orders chart. It's actually number 7 as of March 31st with 88,000 pre-orders. Still no word if this game's ever coming out. I don't know if it's been canceled, but I remember people getting excited because they liked the first game. And I'm like, I was talking about how Nintendo's was better, and I was like, Sony just shows a bunch of CGI trailers. I was like literally mad watching this press conference. It was CGI trailer after CGI trailer after bullshit, fake gameplay, and Dead Island 2 still not out.
Oh yeah, my God, yes.
CGI trailer reveal. They did all this. It was a funny concept, but it was just something that's never going to be in the game. This game is still not out, and it's almost 100,000 people have that game pre-ordered at this. 88,000 people have that pre-ordered for the PS4, and it's just a reminder to don't always fall for stuff. I mean, Final Fantasy VII, what'd they say? Like that could be like 2023 or something ridiculous, like.
No, it was just a joke. Fuck you, it was a joke.
That's why I always I don't want to see CGI trailers. I'd rather just have a tease. Hey, this game's in development. Metroid Prime 4, this game's in development.
Yep.
That's all I need until you're ready to show the game. You show these, they work on these CGI trailers. Even last year, Ubisoft did it with Beyond Good and Evil 2. It was a really high quality CGI. I mean, it was top notch. But we know that game isn't coming out till sometime at least 2 years after they showed that, And it's just, I'm just shocked that people have pre-ordered this game and not canceled it by now. And it's like, it's been on there 212 weeks. It was according to VG Charts, and it's like, that's why I always complain about CGI trailers, and that's why even though Shadow of the Tomb Raider reveal did that, and I was like, what the fuck? Why are you wasting money creating CGI, and it's not even going to be in the game because they always do in-engine cutscenes. So I just hope I don't, Microsoft doesn't do that, Ubisoft doesn't do that, anybody. Just tell us you're working on the game. That's all we need. It's just so stupid to waste money on CGI.
I never understand it anyway. I pre-order. The only thing I pre-order is special editions. I can understand people pre-ordering actual games. What I will never understand is people who will pre-order a game that they don't know is coming out, that they don't know what's going to cost, that they don't know what stores is going to have. People pre-order shit that's not even basically confirmed yet. It's like, what is people doing with their money?
Oh, and what does GameStop do with that money? Because people pre-ordered Zelda U in 2014, based on that, and never not knowing it was going to be delayed that long. But still, that's to me, I need to know, hey, this has a release date. That's the only time I'll be all right, I'll just pre-order just for the hell of it, But anyway, that's my final thoughts. Good job, Robert. And hopefully Microsoft does, show up, and it could be a good show, because low expectations can lead to, better results or better, a more exciting show. But I'm not counting on it. So
all right,
there you go.
Well, T, what about you? What's your final thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to continue quickly on the pre-ordering thing. On Wii U, you had to pre-order that shit because you might not see it again. So that was a thing on Wii U. It was, if you didn't pre-order the game, it might not be on this damn store shelf for very long. So outside of that, yeah, it's just like special editions only. I don't understand pre-ordering games because it's always going to be enough. So it's kind of silly. But anyway, yes, Robert did a great job, my man. Good stuff. Proud of you. You put a tear in Daddy's eye. It was a lot of fun. I mean, this is probably going to be the hardest one with Ubisoft and Microsoft and all that soft for us to do predictions and talk about stuff because we probably have the least amount of fan fervor around these companies here.
And the least amount of people who owns the system. Everyone here owns a PS4 other than Retro.
I'm the only one that has Xbox One in this whole situation.
Well, Robert has one, but
Robert has one. My bad.
Yeah, but
he turned that shit
movies.
Century, so. But maybe we'll have a little bit more next week. What is it? Bethesda and Sony.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Bethesda and Sony. That's cool. So yeah. The strongest third party on Switch. Who would have thought that shit?
That's crazy.
That's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, great podcast, fellas. And like I always say, play Nintendo films.
All right. What about Clocked It?
Am I the last one? I think I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
No, good podcast. It was kind of the hateful three, wasn't it? Capcom and Ubisoft and Microsoft. It's quite delicious for me. I do like hating them.
We should have added EA into this one.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'd be full of hate right now, just going to bed angry, like punching the pillow while I'm sleeping. I'd be like, yeah. But no, good job, Rob. I thought you were really engaging, actually, dude. You were asking lots of questions and good questions, people answering and stuff. So yeah, it was good stuff. And not much to add here. What other news did we had? We had Shenmue 3 was delayed, and then Final Fantasy 7, and going back to Square and all that stuff. You remember that? Remember that Sony E3 of Dreams? Maybe we can talk about that next week.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we can talk about that next week. But
did any of those games come out? I think there were 3 games, wasn't it? Your
it
favorite
was
one.
The last Guardian, which I said was a disappointment. And Final Fantasy 7 and Shenmue 3, man. But anyway, let's I'll leave it there. Good podcast, really enjoyed it. And like I said, I'm back after playing Dad of Ball, so you'll hear from me soon with my little rundown on that game. And I'm back on YouTube. I'm back.
And guess what? Either you or Retro's hosting next week, and then the other will be hosting the Nintendo predictions week. So
It's gonna be a flip of a coin, probably.
yeah,
I'll fight you, Retro. I fight you.
we'll talk about it off air.
And I guess I'll say my final thoughts. Time to relax and watch some Deadpool, people. It's so good.
Jeez.
And tomorrow, Runner 3 finally comes out. So I'm going to run off and get hard.
God damn.
Fucking knew it.
You're gonna run to the store.
We were so close.
I'm gonna run to the store just how he runs, all naked and shit. And
you think he's naked?
He's
He
naked.
ain't got no damn clothes on. That's naked in my book.
Did you see
Everyone's looking at ass cheeks now.
Go Nintendo's review, like 25-minute review? He just loves that game.
I'm sure I loved Runner 2. It was one of my favorite games of that year.
That's an awesome game.
And Runner 3 looks no different. I can't wait. I mean, it looks very different, but I can't wait. I'm very, very excited. And God,
how about your progress in Fractured Butthole?
I want to. Well, I didn't play because I want to finish God of War, but at the same time,
You're never gonna play it.
You're never gonna fucking play it.
Might as well take it back.
You're never gonna fucking play it, right?
I think what it is, I genuinely think I'm gonna enjoy South Park more than God of War. So maybe I should just start.
Just play it, dude.
Yeah, just play it.
Just play South Park over God of War.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that might be the way.
I'll give you $20 for God of War. You can send it to me.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I don't know about that though. To be honest.
I don't think my dad.
25.
I don't know.
Are you joking?
I don't know.
This man's out here trying to play his bids on games.
I'm sure Clockton would sell it. He would sell it, right?
Yeah.
From the UK though, it's
You want the PS4?
It's
What's
like
he gonna
same
be cheap
thing.
about shipping? The
They
fuck?
speak English there too, you know.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I know it's like $15 shipping probably.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh.
He doesn't the shipping
Oh,
cost.
yeah.
It'll be that shipping. Okay.
Robert
Cheap
stole the
bastard.
letter.
You cheap
Yeah, but
bastard.
I like I like keeping my games.
Mhm.
Can't lie.
All right.
But yeah, so
Such a
have a
weird
good
thing
night,
to do at the end of the
people.
podcast.
Sleep tight and don't die. You know.